guys? Welcome back to Brotherhood Reviews. I'm your host, Rich, and I haven't been able to do chapter reviews in a while, so I'm gonna be doing uh, an explanation on Kaido's race, on him being an Oni. Um, Now, we get clarification that he means ogre, but a lot of people were confused because Oni were used to Oni being referred to as demons. Um, but in Japanese folklore, Oni is referred to as a demonic creature, often giant sized with great strength and a fearful appearance. So, in my opinion, Kaido checks off all those boxes. Um, and you know, it was brought to Japan foreign by nature through Chinese influence, and also along with Buddhism. So that really ties into a lot of Kaido's tropes and attacks and stuff, with it being based off of a lot of Buddhism. Um, Now, with with chapter 1025's information, we get that he is an ogre, and uh, being called a Oni, we all assume that it was demon, because that's what it's widely referred to as through most manga and other things like Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer, things like that. Yu Yu Hakusho, if you're into things like that. So, uh, but in this terms, they mean demons, yokai, orcs, trolls, and ogres, which we find out, he's an ogre. Now, we also knew ogres were pretty much in it because of Orcs Jr., and the numbers pretty much are ogres. Um, it pretty much says in the folklore that ogres are typically red or blue. Um, but Oda likes to put his little twist on them, so they're red or green. And you know, most people would be like, "Oh, Kaido has to be half ogre or something," but no, I think Kaido is still full ogre. But maybe there's like three colors of ogres, and it's regular tone ogres, which like Kaido is, and it all goes by intelligence. So maybe like the red ones are the biggest ones. So that means physically born, they're naturally the strongest, and Kaido's race version of the ogres are smaller. Still, they're still strong, like but they're not as strong as the red ones, and the green ones are right in between. So Kaido has like the intelligence of a regular person and still the strength of an ogre, but the red ones would be naturally stronger. But the fact that he's a conqueror user, and he's built his body to the point where it's beyond anybody else's, that's why he's stronger than them. But on a normal basis, because we know Orcs froze himself to death, it's not like he was killed by anybody, or he was able to be, to our knowledge, he wasn't murdered. um he couldn't be killed as well. People tried. He was known as the world uh decimator of worlds or whatever. He destroyed every world, conqueror of worlds. So we know that they were a very powerful race. um yeah, so I think the difference of the colors determines, the intelligence. So, and Kaido is supposed to be like all knowing or something like that, or it's knowledgeable. Um, now, now that we clarified what Oni is, well, the specific Oni we're talking about, now let's talk about like in the traditional sense. So ogres are, you know, they eat humans pretty much. And it looks like the numbers they eat humans. And like I said, the more intelligent you are, the more, you know, understanding of like what's food and what's not. And that's probably why Kaido doesn't eat people, but who knows? He probably eats people. We've only seen him drink massive amounts of alcohol. And that is one of the tropes. Uh, they they drink and eat to excess. Um, and like I said before, the skin colors are different than normal humans. Um, some of the more intelligent ones can pass as human. Um, so there's that falls in the line of my my idea of Kaido being of more of the intelligent part of that race. Um, we do know he there is one more race that Big Mom doesn't have. It could be the ogre race, but it also could be obviously it has to be Kaido's ogre race because there definitely aren't any ogres in her crew, and we've only seen a handful of them, and one of them were dead. Two of them, oh, and the rest are on Kaido's crew. Um, if the bigger numbers are ogres, so in that case, and Big Mom probably doesn't wanna reproduce with something so unintelligent as like the red or the green one, or even Orcs Junior. Um, so that's probably why another reason why him and Big Mom are like, Big Mom always thought of him as a little brother because she felt like she needed to protect his race, and another reason why she gave him his devil fruit. Um, now I want to talk about Kaido's mindset and what he feels like. His mindset about being an ogre is feels like he's above humans, and I think that comes with the trope of um, ogres eating humans and seeing them as food. You don't see food as equal as eye to eye, or else you wouldn't eat it. That's why there's vegetarians, because they see these living creatures as to be treated like living creatures. And he doesn't see humans like that. He's tried his best to remove that type of connection from Yamato to these people, but yet she still feels this connection with them. Um, and he even says it to her: you cling on to these people of Wano like you're from here. They are beneath you. You are a Oni princess. You are a ogre princess. You should rule over them. You should rule over them with fear and strength. You don't need their love and affection. You're more powerful than they'll ever be. Um, and that just, I feel like that really goes into the fact that, he's been captured hundreds of times. Only one man on this earth scarred his body. We know he can lose fights. We know he can be captured. But no matter, he can't be hung. They tried to chop off his head. You know what I mean? So they've done everything in their power to try and execute this man, and he can't do it. Now I want to talk about a little bit more into the lore. Um, Now, ogres are use clubs or kanabos. So, I guess his race was technically in our face this whole time, and we've only seen, or ogres in One Piece use clubs. Um, so I guess it went over most of our heads. I'm pretty sure few people thought of it, but I'm pretty sure most of us wasn't even thinking about it because he was just such a massive creature, and we didn't think. Most depictions of ogres, they're not very strong creatures, but after reading the lore, they're actually very intelligent, strong, and conniving. Um, but yeah, they are known to give out punishments to the people who are sent to hell, uh, and they are serving the demon lord Enma. And I believe that is one of the reasons why Enma was able to cut Kaido, because um, ogres, it obviously had to have been made from something from ogres to be named Enma, and has to, and if ogre serves me, I should be able to punish my servant. So it's kind of like Oda's little twist on Enma and ogres and stuff, with giving a little bit of an explanation to why Odin was able to cut him, and now Zoro was able to cut him with the same sword, and why Big Mom told Kaido to get out of the way of that sword when Zoro was gonna cut him the first time. Um, now, now that's just my thoughts on that. Now let's go into a bit of the powers of ogres and sneaky ways Oda gave that to um, Kaido. So now he can detach and reattach limbs after battle. So if he gets his arm cut off, if ogres get their arms cut off when they're done in the battle, they can just put it right back on. He obviously doesn't have that power. That'd be too much. But he cannot get cut. He cannot take damage. Well, he could take damage, but it's it's shallow damage. Not somebody can't really knock him on his backside without a little bit of help. So flight, he gave him the dragon fruit, so now he could fly. Uh, he could change forms at will. He has multiple forms he can change into, and from what we could see, he is the most mastered with his devil fruit I believe we've seen in this show so far, other than Big Mom, I guess. But her fruit is easy because everybody's afraid of her to begin with. So I guess, yeah, he would be the best user, until, like, okay, big dragon, normal form, hybrid, straight back to normal form, straight up to big dragon. I haven't seen anybody transition in and out of their fruit like that probably since Katakuri. So yeah, I would give him that. Uh, you know, inflicts disease. Queen. So he got somebody who likes chemical warfare, and and has this chemical killing agent that he can spread throughout the world if he wanted to, and he just likes to do that for fun. So there's that. Insanity. If you don't want to follow him, he locks you in a cage until you die, or or you have to live under his rule until he drives you insane. Um, and then death as they see fit. Um, the wording of this kind of confused me. I don't know if they meant their death or the people around them. But if it's their death, that completely that completely aligns of Kaido's mindset, because he wants to die by somebody of great strength, and that is what he's been searching for. He thought powerful men will not die in this world unless they're taken out by other powerful men. He was upset that Whitebeard died and it wasn't by his hands. And I believe he believed that Whitebeard was the only man in that universe that could kill him. And with Whitebeard gone, now there's nobody that can stop him. And that is why he wants to start an amazing war, the greatest war ever, to find a person better than Whitebeard, better than him, better than Joy Boy, to see his own death fit in his own way. Thank you guys for listening. If you guys listen to this whole thing, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe. I will be putting out daily content. Thank you guys. Have a good one.